explain to you exactly why we do what we do and how everything goes down. I'm going to show you how to grow your business. These are the things that work in today's markets. You're going to love what we did in here. We're going to start making some money. Here's how you do it. Hey, what's up guys? John Cochran here, and today is System Saturday, the day that I bring you a system that I use in my business that you can rip off, duplicate using your own local market. Now, on today's System Saturday, what we're going to talk about is the 3 offline marketing systems to find buyers in today's real estate market. Now, what does offline mean? What does that mean? So obviously you can find buyers online, okay? So online means you could find them on Facebook. You could find them, while you're searching the internet. But if you're not searching the internet, if you're not onto a computer, if you're not onto an iPad, you can find them offline. The things that you visually see while you're out driving around looking for properties or whatnot. That is what offline means. So we have 3 different systems that we use very, very effectively for finding hot buyers in today's real estate market, okay? And the very, very first one that we do is on every single property that we have up for sale, we have to have a for sale sign into the yard, okay? So we'll have a for sale sign into the yard, whether it's a realtor for sale sign or whether it's just a generic for sale sign, there will be a for sale sign into the yard. Next to the for sale sign, so you got the for sale sign here, and we always put it directly into the line with the front door, okay, of the house. I mean, we have a system on this. So you got your for sale sign. Next to the for sale sign, we also will put a rent to own sign into the yard. Now you might just be thinking, John, I have no intention. I just rehab this property. I don't have the funds. I can't rent to own this thing. I can't do any of that stuff. And guys, I don't have the intention either, but think of it like this. Whenever you're selling your property, do you want your buyer's pool to be big or small? The people that could buy your property, do you want just a small audience or do you want a big audience? What do you want? Because me personally, I want the biggest audience that I possibly can. I don't want to have the smallest audience when I'm selling anything. I don't want to have that. I want to have the biggest audience ever. So guys, what we started doing literally probably about 3 to 5 years ago was we started not having any intention to do it, but we started putting for sale signs into the yard, but right next to them, rent to own signs. Now the reason we did that was very, very key. A lot of rent to own buyers, what do they have? Credit problems, don't they? Okay, so they might have had a foreclosure, they might have had a bankruptcy into the past, but here's what they don't understand. If they had a bankruptcy 10 years ago, or if they had a foreclosure on their record 7 years ago, or something like that, they think in their minds that they can just never buy a property. That's what they think, okay? And I can tell you this, is that rent-to-own buyers are by far the best at raising money. Why? Because they have to. So just because a person thinks that they have to have a rent to own, that does not mean that they cannot get a loan now, okay? That does not mean that, because their bankruptcy, might have been 10 years ago. However, that doesn't matter. Just because you've had a bankruptcy doesn't mean that you can never buy a property again, and it might have expired out of that time frame. Same thing with the foreclosure. But they think that it almost lasts forever, but it doesn't. Okay, so we want those buyers, we want that buyer's pool to be huge, so that we can capture all those buyers. And again, they are so good at raising money. They should honestly be real estate investors because they're the best at raising money. And because they have to. So they'll do a lot of getting money from family. Daddy's cash is what I call it. They're phenomenal at doing that. So we will market for sale and rent to own just for the fact that our buyer's pool is way bigger. We get way more calls on this thing. And at the same time, you will sell cash. And you will find buyers that call you that wouldn't have just by having a for sale sign in the yard that can actually get a loan now, but they didn't think that they could. Your job is to, whenever they do call you, just flip the script on them. Yeah, I'm calling on your rent to own. Well, tell me, what exactly are you looking for? Well, I had a foreclosure 10 years ago and okay, so let me get you over to my loan officer. That's the script. You've got to do that, and your buyer's pool needs to be huge. So that's the first thing that we do. We have a for sale sign and a rent to own sign into the yard. Another offline approach that we do is something called white signs, okay? Now, these white signs are very, very simple. They are 18-inch by 24-inch. They're white corrugated plastic signs. So they're 18-inch by 24, 18 inches tall, 24 inches wide, okay? Corrugated plastic, meaning that you have to put what's called an H-wire stake into the bottom of these signs, okay? And then what we do on these white signs is we will write messages on these white signs, and we always have 4 into the yard, okay? So we will write messages on these things like must sell, okay? So we'll write must sell. Even if it's a rehab deal, we'll write must sell, because you know what? You must sell to make a profit, right? You have to. You must sell it in order to make a profit. We'll write things like deal onto these white signs. We will write things like killer price on these white signs. We will write things like that. We will write things like call me on these white signs. The key is this, is that you got to get white signs into the yard of the property that you're selling. We typically will have 4 of these right into the yard, and you got to handwrite them. You have to handwrite them. It's that simple. So you got to make them look like they're handwritten. So now you can see that this property that we have up for sale, it's got 2 for sale signs into the yard. We also have 4 white signs right into the yard. So you can see right now we have 6 signs into the yard. You might just be thinking, there's no way. There's no way. I'm not putting 6 signs into my yard. Guys, you cannot be scared to have that clown house. If you go next to a property and think of it like a buyer, if they go next to a property and they see a for sale sign into the yard, a realtor for sale sign right into the yard, but then right next door, they see that realtor for sale sign in the yard and 5 other signs, which one do you think they're going to look at? That's all you care about. That's all you care about, is getting your property under contract as fast as you possibly can. Signs work. Signs work very, very well. The third way that we will bring in and attract buyers offline visually is through directional signs. Directional signs. Now, directional signs can be whatever you want them to do, but I can tell you exactly what we do. Okay, so we use the same exact white signs, the white corrugated plastic signs, and we write on them the same exact stuff. However, we change the message. Okay, so we'll change the message. So we'll do things onto our directional signs, and we'll typically post, they're 18 by 24 inch, we'll typically post about 10 to 15 of these throughout the entire subdivision or around that particular property. And what we do is we'll write messages on these white signs, 10 to 15 around the town. We'll write these messages like killer price, arrow. So you put and whatever you do on your one sign, it must be congruent on all the signs. You don't do one sign that says killer price, one that says deal, one that says, steal this house. You don't do any of that stuff. Whatever you do on one sign, you do on every single sign, creating a consistent message, okay? But what we'll do is we'll put these signs at stop signs. We'll put them all over the place, 10 to 15 of them, just pointing right back to your subject property. This works, and it works very, very well. I can tell you this, that doing all of this will almost get you a better response than just emailing or text messaging a hot buyers list. That's how key this stuff is. So that is the 3 different online marketing methods that we use to find buyers in today's real estate market. I highly advise that you do this on every single property that you have for sale. So guys, like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next System Saturday.